Right now at 10, get ready to walk down the aisle. La Crosse's new grocery store opens in less than 24 hours. And education on the ballot. Republican candidate for governor Tim Michels says he'll make Wisconsin schools better by increasing competition. Plus, it's time to get shots. A vaccine clinic will open up ahead of the flu season.
Now at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Amy DuPont. Ken is off tonight. Competition is typically a good thing for consumers. It often leads to more deals and better prices. A big name has joined the list of local grocers. Happening tomorrow, La Crosse's new Hy-Vee store will officially open to the public. It's more than 105,000 square feet in size and one of the largest stores in the company. It features several departments and amenities, including hibachi, a sit-down bar, and a floral department. Employees say their 600-person crew is ready for a busy couple of months.
We're going to get through, Halloween and get through that, then we're kind of right into the holidays. So it's almost baptism by fire, but the crew's ready to go and we're ready to flip into the holiday season and we can't wait.
Hy-Vee offers multiple programs, including a gas perks reward program that the president and CEO of the La Crosse store says makes sense to help consumers save on both groceries and gas.
And we just feel like it's a good marriage. It's a great opportunity for us to be able to save customers money on fuel at the same time while shopping with us. So it just, on both fronts, it makes a lot of sense for us and our customer.
Doors will open tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. The La Crosse location is Hy-Vee's Wisconsin's 5th store. People are going to have to dress warm if they're going to be out there for the grand opening at 6 because overnight we're going to get even cooler.
Indeed we are. Temperatures in the 20s tomorrow morning, wind chills likely in the teens. So keep that in mind if you're going to rise early or if your normal schedule takes you out and about early in the morning. And speaking of chilly, my goodness, the temperatures today feeling more like late November than mid-August. A high of only 40 degrees in La Crosse, 41 in Winona. And look at all of the communities that did not even escape the 30s for highs like Eau Claire, Black River Falls, Sparta, Viroqua, Decorah, and Preston. That is some chilly air for this time of year. Still a few clouds scattered about, but they're starting to break apart. That trend should continue overnight. Otherwise, the rain and snow showers start to pivot off to the east. Boy, lots of snow falling across the UP of Michigan, upwards of 12 to 14 inches in parts of the UP. 33 degrees in Eau Claire, Black River Falls, Sparta, and Volkfield. 34 in La Crosse and Winona. 31 in Viroqua, already down to 28 over in Preston. So becoming partly cloudy, breezy, and cold overnight. Lows in the low to mid-20s, right around 26 in La Crosse, but wind chills dipping into the teens. Schoolcast for tomorrow. The difference from today, lots of sunshine, but still breezy and still chilly with highs around 45 degrees. Now, if you're not a fan of this cold, which I'm sure a lot of you aren't, I've got some good news in my 8-day forecast. Stick around.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Well, buckle up and put the phone down. That's what the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is asking drivers to do. Over the past 2 years, Wisconsin's distracted driving related deaths have increased by 54%. So far this year, 31 people have died in distracted related driving crashes. DOT officials say being distracted by a phone can cause a crash in seconds.
We've seen too many instances of, especially depending on what speed you're traveling at, taking your eyes off the road and looking down for only seconds can result in a tragedy.
Officials say people of all ages are involved in distracted driving related crashes. Roughly 50% of all the deaths happen because someone wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Well, this November, education is on the ballot. According to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, voters statewide will be asked to approve 81 school referendums. One reason, state dollars haven't caught up with costs. For example, a report released last week tracked funding for special education. It found the La Crosse School District spent more than $11 million of general funds for all students to pay for special ed costs not covered by the government. In a one-on-one interview with News 8 Now, Republican candidate for governor Tim Michels pledged to provide more money to schools and more choices for parents.
I'm going to make sure that there's plenty of funding for education. We are going to improve the education system in Wisconsin by creating competition through universal school choice, which empowers parents, and that will make education better for everybody across the board.
Democratic Governor Tony Evers, a former public school teacher and state superintendent of public instruction, has long criticized Republican lawmakers for not increasing funding to public schools. Last month, the governor pledged to spend some of the state's projected budget surplus to increase funding for public K-2 schools by nearly $2 billion without raising property taxes. Abortion is also on the November ballot. Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate Mandela Barnes is speaking out against Republican Senator Ron Johnson's views on reproductive rights. During his Ron Against Roe tour, Barnes told Wisconsin voters that Senator Johnson has a history of not supporting a woman's right to make her own health care decision and politicizing abortion.
The fact is, half of this country, half the population of the state lost a constitutional right. That's what's at hand right now. We're talking about rights, and we're talking about freedom that needs to be protected. The rights and freedoms that Ron Johnson is all too happy to strip away from people.
According to the Associated Press, the majority of Democratic ads on spending this election season, they totaled more than $124 million, and that focused on abortion rights. The Mayo Clinic Health System Flu Shot Clinic is now open. Anyone can get a flu shot, COVID booster, or both. Flu vaccines are available as a shot or nasal spray, and Mayo also has the updated COVID-19 vaccine that can fight newer strains of the virus. You can get both vaccines during one visit. If you're hesitant about getting a flu shot, nurses recommend you do your research with a reputable site.
I would certainly do your research, go on to the CDC website and read about the vaccines. Also, call your healthcare team, talk to your healthcare provider or the nurses, and they'll give you all the information that you need, and you can make the, decision if that's right for you.
According to the CDC, flu activity right now is low, but it is ramping up in the southern part of the U.S. Mayo Clinic Flu Click hours are going to be Monday through Friday from 8 to 5:30. A new downtown La Crosse business is going green. The Gunderson Dental Specialties building near 3rd and State is installing more than 150 solar panels. Employees say those panels would reduce the building's electric bill by thousands of dollars in just a few years. However, they say the solar panels are about more than just a financial benefit. They believe it'll be a benefit to the entire community.
Gunderson puts on solar panels for two main reasons. We want to, number one, lower the cost of health care. And then number two, we want to reduce the harmful emissions in the air for our community.
Although those solar panels are expected to be installed by the end of the week, the new Gunderson facility won't be open until spring. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and a Winona group is spreading awareness with style. The Advocacy Center of Winona invited people of all ages to have their hair dyed purple. Purple is the chosen color of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Event organizers say it is a great way to build awareness and community, even with a younger crowd.
We've shown movies and stuff, but that's more for older audiences, so this is a good way for kids to possibly get involved. Painting nails, dyeing hair, that's temporary, is a good way for them to kind of get excited about it and maybe learn something.
Now, this isn't the only way the Advocacy Center is getting the word out. The Clothesline Project will be displayed at multiple locations around Winona all month. You can see it this week at Minnesota State College's Winona campus. Still ahead, can you hear me now? People with mild to moderate hearing loss can now get a hearing aid at their local pharmacy chain. Plus, bogus baggage fees. American Airlines agrees to refund people for checked bag fees that were supposed to be free.
A few years ago, I was working with a woman who was about to settle with the insurance company for a fraction of what she deserved. Instead, she hired By Goffin Rohde, and we got her the maximum possible settlement. At By Goffin Rohde, we get results.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine when you purchase. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 loyalty cash. And now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
I'm a veteran. I know what it looks like to love your country, and this isn't it. Derek Van Orden was on the Capitol grounds on January 6. He broke past the police barricades and was part of a riot that injured over 100 cops. And some of them ended up dying. Now he wants us to believe he's a patriot. Mr. Van Orden, patriots defend their country. They don't try to burn it down.
I'm Brad Paff, and I approve this message.
If someone you love has been injured, it's important to find a law firm that's fair, prompt, and reliable. That law firm is Bygoff and Rohde.
We've been Wisconsin's personal injury law firm for over 50 years.
It's a big day for the millions of Americans with hearing loss. For the first time, hearing aids are available over the counter. People won't need to see a doctor first. Roxana Sabiri explains.
Buying a hearing aid over the counter could turn the sound back up for some people with mild to moderate hearing loss.
It's meant to be very user-friendly. Consumers can get the device, set it themselves, and go on from there.
An estimated 30 million Americans could benefit from a hearing aid, but only 1 in 5 actually gets one. Left untreated, hearing loss can lead to mental decline, depression, and a reduced quality of life. For example, this is how Beethoven sounds with moderate hearing loss versus normal hearing. By buying a hearing aid over the counter, consumers can also save money. Non-prescription hearing aids range from roughly $200 to $3,000 a set, compared to up to $8,000 for a prescription pair. Still, 81-year-old Fred Swanson, who has moderate hearing loss, says he wouldn't know how to go it alone.
How would I know what I need?
That's one reason, but audiologist Tracy Murphy also says if you plan to shop over the counter, you should get an exam first to make sure you don't have a serious underlying medical condition.
Things like ear pain, drainage from the ear, sudden hearing loss in the last 90 days.
Over-the-counter hearing aids should be available online now, and they've started hitting the shelves at stores like this Walgreens in Chicago, but you'll have to pay out of pocket if they're not covered by your insurance. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Chicago.
American Airlines agreed to pay $7.5 million to settle a lawsuit over alleged bogus baggage fees. According to court documents, American agreed to pay those who accused it of requiring some passengers to pay checked bag fees even when they were promised free checked bags. The fees were charged between 2013 and 2021 to some credit card holders and frequent or first-class flyers. American will provide full refunds, but people have to file a valid claim in a timely manner. Well, it's about time, if you haven't done so already, to turn on your furnace. Just ahead, techs tell us how to make sure your heating system is ready for winter.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. Still a couple more chilly days, but a nice warming trend in store later this week. I'll have all the details coming up next.
Dear night owls, when darkness falls, our stunning style takes flight, and our fuel economy is ever so wise. Trust us, Toyota sedans. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson. I'm Sheriff Eric Severson. We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over 600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Punishing inflation, retirement savings evaporating, home values crashing, and Mandela Barnes is oblivious. Barnes just supported a massive tax increase on middle-class families. and an army of IRS agents to go get every penny. Barnes also supported Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that cost every taxpayer $2,000. $2,000 less to survive on. Can you afford Mandela Barnes? Wisconsin Truth Tech is responsible for the content of this advertising.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle-class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Dear night owls, when darkness falls, our stunning style takes flight, and our fuel economy is ever so wise. Trust us, Toyota sedans. Toyota, let's go places.
Fall Home Show going on now at the Bourne Store. Visit today and see what's new and get your $250 discount coupon. Register for prizes and visit with designers. Hope to see you soon.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Furnaces are firing up today, some for the first time this season. Heating technicians tell News 8 Now that they're taking plenty of calls for service. Our News 8 Now's Emily Haugen explains what techs are finding and how you can prevent problems before they happen.
When it gets cold outside, all you want to do is bring the heat.
This time of year, temperatures drop, and we always expect a lot of phone calls.
Heating technicians know turning up the thermostat might reveal some problems.
If people don't get tune-ups, I guess, dirty flame sensor.
Riley Hegg is a service tech.
Plug drains if they don't get a tune-up.
And a lot of those problems, he says, could be avoided.
Normally, we recommend a yearly checkup on the system.
Places like Paulson on Alaska offer annual checkups. Techs like Hegg take a look at problems before they happen.
Dirty filters, that's a big one if you don't get a tune-up or if you're not regularly changing your filter.
And those air filters come at a relatively inexpensive cost.
One filter should be around $10 to $15. Generally, you don't want to go with the cheapest option on the shelf, but you don't have to go with the most expensive either.
This is something Rasmussen suggests you replace every 2 to 3 months.
A furnace should last about 15 to 20 years is a good guideline. Furnaces probably start around $4,000.
So $15 is a small price to pay compared to those big repairs.
So this advice might be a little late for this year, but technicians also advise you turn on your furnace to check out runs before the heating season begins. That way, of course, you can get ahead of any problems. But again, might be a little bit late for this season because, Bill, you've been tracking temperatures and we cool down quickly.
Yeah, in fact, National Weather Service is done with frost and freeze headlines for the upper Midwest because we've already seen freezing temperatures, and we are going to get cold again the next couple of nights, but wait till you see the warm up later this week. So some good news for warmer weather fans. Now, we had clouds most of the day, just in time for the sunset, though, some breaks. So we had some nice colors as we progressed through the sunset, kind of some yellows and oranges there. Add some pinks and maybe some violets as the sun got a little bit lower. And then just after it set, still some nice colors as the street lights started to come on here in downtown La Crosse. So kind of some nice scenes in our western sky, even though it was a chilly scene for sure if you're out and about. High of only 40 degrees. Compare that to our average low this time of year, 42. So we did not even reach that, and we are 21 degrees short of average. Records today, 84 and 23, and it continues to be dry across the region. We just had some very light snow showers and flurries in spots. 34 cloudy out at the airport, 35 downtown. Wind still blustery. 13 miles per hour, that's making it feel like 25. Eau Claire, you're cloudy, 33 degrees with a wind chill of 25. So temperatures are chilly, low to mid 20s, and a good chunk of the nation is shivering tonight. Look at the teens out to the west, 18 in Watertown. That's an actual air temperature for those folks. Already some upper 20s in Rochester and Preston, over towards Austin, Mason City, and Mankato. Low to mid 30s closer to home. Winds out of the north-northwest, 5 to 15, still gusting around 20 in spots, and quite gusty over eastern parts of the state, 30 to 35 miles per hour. Wind chills in the 20s, and already some teens over southeastern Minnesota. And overnight, many spots will see wind chills in the teens, including as you head out the door tomorrow morning and send the kids out the door as well. So keep that in mind. Actual temperatures overnight, right around 24, 25, maybe 26 degrees in the La Crosse County area. Low to mid 20s down to the south. In fact, most spots between about 21 and 26 degrees for an overnight low. Again, those winds will make it feel in the teens. Now, clouds starting to break apart as those light snow showers and flurries fell apart. The cause is this vigorous area of low pressure over the Great Lakes, kind of pulling Canadian air southward into our area. That's why it's been so cold. Now, tomorrow, lots of sunshine, but we're going to stay breezy and stay chilly. So it's going to look better with all that sunshine, and sunshine always helps a little bit, but it's still going to be chilly. A few clouds tomorrow night, and then a few clouds rotating through on Wednesday as well, but continued dry. Temperatures tomorrow still on the cool side, right around 45 or 46 degrees in the La Crosse area. Low to mid 40s down to the south. Most spots out of our 60-plus communities in our zone forecast will top out between about 42 and 47 degrees for our Tuesday. Still well short of average. So skies becoming partly cloudy tonight, breezy and cold. Lows around 26. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, but still breezy and chilly. Highs around 45. One more chilly day Wednesday, 47. But here comes that warm up. 54 on Thursday, 67 on Friday. How about 70 degrees? And we're going to time this well with the weekend. Now breezy on Sunday, but still warm, 73. Small chance for a shower. Better chance of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm Sunday night and into Monday as a cold front comes through and knocks us back into the 60s on Monday, upper 50s on Tuesday. But 70s. That looks pretty nice, especially centered over a weekend.
Absolutely. Lots of fall things to do outside, so perfect timing.
Exactly right.
Thanks, Bill. Coming up in sports, the Wild are looking for their first win of the year, plus the Packers dropped their second game in a row. We're going to hear what the players have to say after falling to 3-3. Rob is in next with sports.
Thank you for watching News 8 La Crosse. Here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers. News 8 Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or treatment for a complex condition, Mayo Clinic Health System has convenient and safe options for the care you and your family need.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
When all is said and done, here's 3 things to remember. 1. Only Tim Michaels would ban abortion in cases of rape or incest and jail doctors who perform them. 2. Only Michaels Family Foundation funded an extremist group that uses cell phone data to track women near abortion clinics. 3. Only Michaels ran a company where women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. The only one with a radical agenda like that is Tim Michaels. And the only one who can stop it is you.
Here in Wisconsin, you should be able to walk down the street and not worry about crime. I'm Josh Call. As a former federal prosecutor and your attorney general, I've put murderers, drug traffickers, and sex offenders behind bars and kept them there. And I worked with Democrats and Republicans to change the law so rape kits don't sit around untested. I know there's more to do, but I will not stop until you and your family are safe, no matter what neighborhood you live in.
We at Maxwell White pride ourselves on delivering honest, dependable plumbing services, whether it's a repair, installation, or any number of other needs. With our full-stocked warehouse and trucks, our licensed technicians are ready to serve you. So don't just choose anyone, choose Maxwell White.
Did you know Tim Michaels wants to criminalize abortion, even for pregnant rape victims?
But are you willing to support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
Last week in London was bad. Yesterday at Lambeau was even worse. The Packers dropping their second game in a row on Sunday. They're 3-3 now on the year, 2 games behind the Vikings in the NFC North, and this team is searching for answers. The green and gold didn't have a lot of those in Sunday's 27-10 loss to the Jets. The Packers couldn't get anything going offensively, especially on the ground. Just 60 yards rushing for Green Bay on Sunday. The game was tied at halftime, but after the break, the Packers had no answer. On the defensive side of the ball, the Jets running all over the Packers, and in the fourth, it's Breece Hall giving New York a 14-point lead. Packers fall by 17 at home. It's the first time Green Bay has lost back-to-back games in the Matt LaFleur era. After the game, the players saying it's all about execution, and right now, they're just not getting it done.
I mean, we got the right guys in our locker room, and we know, they ain't gonna let a loss or 2 losses in a row just mess up our whole season. So we gotta go back to the drawing board. We all gotta look at each other critically and figure it out.
Most importantly, I think it's just unacceptable. Being here, playing for the Green Bay Packers, we know what the standard is, we know what the expectations are, and we failed to reach that. So it's a long season. We still have 11 opportunities left to be able to go out there and to change the narrative, of how we've been as an offensive unit and as a team as well.
I don't really want to talk too much. We got another week ahead. We got Washington. And like I said, I'm excited. I'm ready for another opportunity to get this bad taste out of our mouth, man. Like I said, we understand the standard. We understand where we want to go. We just got to do it.
Packers will look to bounce back Sunday in D.C. against the 2-4 Commanders. Different story for Minnesota, though. Vikings in Miami on Sunday, and they continue to roll. 4th straight win, and it was Dalvin Cook sealing it for Minnesota in the 4th. The Miami native back in his hometown and making the Dolphins pay right here. 53 yards to the house. Vikings go back up 14. They improve to 5-1 on the year. 24-16 the final in Miami. Vikings go into their bye week with a 2-game lead over Green Bay, and Minnesota wideout Justin Jefferson says this team is only going to get better.
We still haven't played our best ball yet, honestly. There's so many more things that we need to fix. I mean, the plays that they are there, we just got to execute them. So, I feel like that game that we will play our best ball is still yet to come.
Vikings are off this Sunday, but they'll be home in 2 weeks to host the Cardinals. The NHL season is underway. Not a great start for the Wild. Minnesota has dropped both of its games so far at home, but the Wild were back in the Twin Cities tonight, looking for their first win of the year against the defending champs. Colorado in the building. Avalanche up 2 early in the 3rd, but the Wild cut the deficit back to 1 thanks to this one-timer from Kirill Kaprizov. That makes it 4-3 Colorado, but with 5 minutes to go, Bill Grall's Avalanche gets some insurance on this power play. Nathan MacKinnon gets credit for that goal, deflects off his stick. Colorado goes back up 2. The Wild fall to 0-3 on the year. They drop this one 6-3. Shifting gears now to high school sports. The volleyball postseason begins tomorrow. The Westby volleyball team heads into the playoffs as a 1 seed in Division III. The 29-1 Norsemen will be hosting Melrose Mindoro. Our schedule tomorrow is jam-packed. West Salem will be home hosting Black River Falls. PDC heads to Logan to clash with the Rangers. Blair Taylor's at home to take on Whitehall. Cashton's at home hosting Durant, Arkansas. Luther welcomes Elk Mound. And Aquinas is home hosting Mondovi. Those are just a few of the games on the slate tomorrow. We also have high school boys soccer playoffs kicking off. Wow. It is a jam-packed schedule. Minnesota football on Wednesday.
Well, at least the weather's going to cooperate, right?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, at least we're not going to rain this Friday. Yeah. Because we've had that a lot.
Hey, and remember, it's really, really hard when there's so many events going on. If you have a great play,
just send it in. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to get as many games as possible. We have a lot of part-timers helping us out this week, too, so we're going to try to get everywhere.
Yeah, get there. We'll get you in there. Possibly you see yourself on, or your favorite athlete on the Play of the Week reel.
I can't wait.
That'd be awesome. Okay, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
Just pretend I'm not here. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Nice isn't weak or cliche or naive. Nice makes someone smile or makes someone's day. And that's a powerful thing. At Western National Insurance, nice is what's guided us for over 100 years. And we're just getting started. Western National Insurance. The power of nice.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
When I started working at Michaels Corporation, Tim was 9 years old.
Tim worked in the trenches for many years when he first started out in this company.
51 years.
12 years.
20 years. 50 years.
Took a small Wisconsin company to one of the best in America.
Tim is really hardworking.
Very good leader, and he's going to tell you like it is.
Because of Tim Michaels, there are thousands of good paying jobs in Wisconsin.
Jobs that people are proud of.
I wouldn't hesitate for 1 second to jump in a foxhole with Tim.
Right now at Slumberland Furniture, you'll get 30% off all living room furniture. Yup, sofas, sectionals, tables, recliners, and more. All 30% off. Plus 30% off select mattresses and 20% off everything else. On now at Slumberland Furniture.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The Halloween spirit is in the air, and the Holmen Area Community Center is hosting its first ever Pumpkin Fest this Saturday. It's going to kick off with a pumpkin decorating contest for area businesses that community members will judge. The pumpkin decorating doesn't stop there. Halfway Creek Trail will be lined with pumpkins decorated by area 5th graders for a night of trick-or-treating. Organizers say this event is great for the entire Holmen community.
Holmen is just such a great community to be a part of and live in, and we're always trying to get the community members, old and young, just to try to get together.
Pumpkin Fest will be held at the Holmen American Legion Saturday from 3 until 7 in the afternoon. Admission is free. It is no secret Wisconsinites love Quick Trip. A Stevens Point farm is bringing the state's favorite pit stop to the field. This is a Quick Trip themed corn maze at Phelps' Dairy Store. The owner reached out to Quick Trip, and the convenience store signed on. The process to create this maze can take up to a year. Phelps' owners say the maze is bringing in plenty of people. And as they leave, they say, "See you next time." There it is. We'll be right back to wrap things up.